Welcome back to my channel, All Old Rare Coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures and learning about rare US coins, you're in the right place. In today's video, we'll reveal some of the most valuable coins that could be worth far more than you think. Stick around till the end, you won't want to miss what these rare gems are really worth. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel to enjoy more discoveries in future. Let's dive in. We have a truly fascinating story to tell, a story about a coin that's as iconic as it is rare, the United States 1-cent coin from 1966. You might think that a simple penny isn't worth much, but trust me, this particular coin has a value that will surprise you. In fact, some of these pennies are worth far more than their face value. Stick around until the end to find out just how much the 1966 1-cent coin could be worth today, and you'll want to hear this. The 1966 United States 1-cent coin may seem like just another penny, but it was actually minted during a very unique period in American history. The 1960s were a time of great change and cultural shifts in the United States. It was the decade of the civil rights movement, the space race, and major political upheaval. Coin collectors who are familiar with this period know that many coins from the 1960s have unique characteristics that set them apart from others in terms of rarity and value. At first glance, the 1966 1-cent coin doesn't seem all that different from other pennies of the era. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln, who has been featured on the U.S. penny since 1909. But what really makes this coin stand out is its scarcity and the interesting details surrounding its production. During 1966, the United States Mint was in the middle of transitioning its coinage. The country had faced a shortage of silver, and the mint was adjusting to using new materials in the production of coins. This led to slight variations in the design and production process, which in turn affected the number of coins that were minted and their eventual availability. So, although millions of pennies were produced in 1966, a smaller number of certain varieties have survived in remarkable condition. When it comes to coins, condition is everything. Most coins, especially ones that have circulated for decades, suffer from wear and tear. However, there are always those rare specimens that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition, coins that look as though they were just minted yesterday. The 1966 1-cent coin, when found in excellent condition, can attract a lot of attention from serious collectors who are willing to pay a premium for such an item, but it's not just the condition that adds to the value of the 1966 penny. Some versions of the coin have unique characteristics, such as minting errors or variations that make them stand out even further. For example, certain 1966 pennies were minted with the no mint mark variety, meaning they were produced without the usual mint mark that would normally indicate where the coin was struck. These no mint mark coins are especially sought after, as they are much rarer than their counterparts that bear the mint mark. Collectors are always on the lookout for these types of anomalies, as they can significantly increase the value of the coin. Additionally, there are certain other varieties of the 1966 1-cent coin, including those that feature small details like die cracks, off-center strikes, or even misaligned dies. These types of errors, while seemingly small, can make a huge difference in the value of the coin. In fact, it's these unique and rare varieties that often capture the attention of collectors, pushing their prices into the thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1966 1-cent coin in today's market. While most 1966 pennies are worth just their face value, 1 cent, there are some exceptions. Coins that are in mint condition, especially those with errors or unique characteristics, can fetch incredible prices. One of the highest values we've seen for a 1966 1-cent coin was a remarkable $110,000. Yes, you heard that right, $110,000. It's incredible to think that a single penny, something that many of us overlook on the street, could be worth such an astronomical sum. Of course, not every 1966 penny will fetch that kind of money. But if you happen to find one in excellent, uncirculated condition, or if you come across a rare error variety, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. For those of you who are coin collectors or just casual hobbyists, this is a great reminder that sometimes, the most valuable items are hidden in plain sight. A coin that looks like just another ordinary penny could hold a secret waiting to be discovered. So, next time you're going through your spare change or browsing through a coin shop, keep your eyes peeled for that 1966 penny. Who knows? You might just have a small fortune in your hands. Before we wrap up, let's recap. The 1966 United States 1-cent coin might seem unassuming, but when found in pristine condition, or with rare minting errors, it can be worth a small fortune. And in some cases, a single 1966 penny could be worth as much as $110,000. If you have one of these coins tucked away in your collection, make sure to take a closer look at its condition and any possible minting variations. It could be worth far more than you ever thought possible. Second expensive coin, we're about to dive into the fascinating world of US coins, and you might just be surprised by what we uncover. You might think that a penny from 1979 isn't worth much beyond its face value, but hold on a second. What if I told you that some of these seemingly ordinary 1-cent coins could be worth thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. Stick with us, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1979 1-cent coin might be hiding a fortune. Now, let's take a trip back in time to 1979. The United States was in the middle of some interesting changes. The country was experiencing significant political and economic shifts, and the world was moving forward in the space race and the age of technology. But while all of this was happening, something important was happening at the U.S. Mint that would affect collectors for decades to come. The 1979 penny was part of a larger issue of coins during the late 1970s. While pennies were being produced in large numbers, it was actually a time of significant transformation at the Mint. In fact, by 1979, the U.S. Mint was still using older methods of minting, which resulted in certain variations in the coin's designs and production. This period would ultimately give rise to some rare and unique examples of everyday coins that would later become highly desirable in the world of coin collecting. At first glance, the 1979 penny might seem like just another regular coin. On the obverse side, we see the well-known image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse side features the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which has graced the U.S. penny since 1959. So far, nothing particularly unusual, right? But here's where things get interesting. Although the 1979 penny is common, there are some key features and rare varieties of this coin that have made it highly sought after by collectors. For one, it's all about the condition of the coin. Most of the 1979 pennies that were produced saw heavy circulation. After all, pennies are small and frequently used in everyday transactions. Over time, these coins have become worn, scratched, and dented. But, as we know in the world of coin collecting, the value of a coin often increases dramatically if it's well preserved, especially if it's in uncirculated or mint condition. One of the reasons the 1979 penny is so desirable is because there are a few rarer varieties of the coin that can dramatically increase its value. For example, the 1979 penny comes in two main varieties, the wide AM and the close AM types. These terms refer to the space between the A and M in America on the reverse side of the coin. While most 1979 pennies feature a wide AM variety, a small number of them were minted with a close AM variety, where the letters A and M are much closer together. These close AM pennies are incredibly rare, and they are one of the most coveted versions of the 1979 penny. In fact, it's estimated that only a small number of these coins were minted, making them highly sought after in the world of numismatics. As you can imagine, this scarcity has made the close AM variety extremely valuable, especially if you can find one in excellent condition. In addition to the close AM variety, there are also a number of 1979 pennies that were minted with other slight imperfections or errors. This could include things like die cracks, off-center strikes, or even double strikes. These error coins are much rarer than standard issue coins, and collectors pay a premium for them. A coin that was struck twice by accident, or has an unusual design flaw, is often seen as a unique treasure in the world of coin collecting. So, how much is the 1979 1-cent coin worth? Well, it all depends on its condition, its variety, and whether or not it has any minting errors. For most 1979 pennies, their value is close to face value, just 1 cent. However, if you have one of those rare, close AM varieties, you're looking at a much higher price. Depending on the condition, a 1979 close AM penny in uncirculated or mint condition can fetch several $1,000s, and for those of you who are lucky enough to own a truly rare 1979 penny, one with an error or a unique feature, it could be worth an incredible amount of money. In fact, one of the highest prices ever paid for a 1979 penny is $85,000. Yes, you heard that right, $85,000. That's the kind of value that a rare 1979 penny can hold when it's in pristine condition or has a rare minting error. Can you imagine finding a penny worth that much? It's a dream come true for collectors, and it's a perfect example of how something as small as a penny can hold massive value if you know what to look for. So, next time you're going through your change jar or browsing through a coin shop, be sure to keep an eye out for that 1979 penny. Whether it's in mint condition, a close AM variety, or has a unique error, it could very well be worth far more than you ever imagined. As we wrap up, remember that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Coins that seem ordinary at first glance could hold secrets that make them incredibly valuable. If you have any 1979 pennies lying around, take a closer look, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Third rare coin, we're going to talk about a hidden gem in the world of US coins, the 1971 cent coin. Now, you might think a penny from 1970 isn't worth much beyond its face value, but what if I told you that some of these pennies are worth a lot more than you might imagine? If you're a collector, or just curious about what's sitting in your coin jar, this video could change the way you look at your pennies. By the end, you'll find out exactly how much this 1971 cent coin could be worth, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Let's take a step back in time. The year is 1970, and the United States was in the middle of a time of significant change. The 1960s had been a time of cultural upheaval, political challenges, and technological advancements. By 1970, the country was entering a new decade, and the world was changing fast. It was a time of great innovation, but also a time when many of the everyday items we take for granted today, like coins, were being produced in large quantities. The 1971 cent coin was part of this large production, yet it stands out for a couple of reasons. At first glance, it seems like just another penny, doesn't it? After all, it features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, which has been a hallmark of the penny since 1909. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, an iconic image that has appeared on the penny since 1959. So, it's a pretty standard coin, right? But that's where the intrigue begins. While the 1970 penny is common, there are some key reasons why it's become a favorite among collectors. For one, there were some unique circumstances surrounding the minting process of these coins. In the 1970s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning through various phases of production, using different methods and materials. The 1970 penny wasn't struck with the same consistency as earlier years, which led to a number of coins being minted with subtle differences. These differences, while minor, made certain 1970 pennies stand out among the rest. One of the most important factors that makes the 1971 cent coin so interesting is its relatively low mintage numbers compared to other years. Although millions of pennies were produced during that time, certain varieties of the 1970 penny were minted in fewer numbers, making them much rarer. This rarity is what makes the coin so desirable to collectors. Coins that are in uncirculated or mint condition are especially valuable, since most of the pennies from 1970 went through heavy circulation, resulting in wear and tear. If you happen to have a 1970 penny that looks brand new or is in excellent condition, you could be in luck. In addition to its relative rarity, there are also certain 1970 pennies that are worth more due to unique characteristics or minting errors. This is where things get really exciting for collectors. You see, even small errors during the minting process can turn an ordinary penny into something extremely valuable. One of the most sought-after variations of the 1970 penny is the double die variety. This occurs when the coin is struck twice by the dies, causing some of the lettering and images to appear doubled or blurred. These double die coins are incredibly rare, and collectors go wild for them. The 1970 penny also saw some unique variations in the minting process. For example, some of these coins were minted with a D mint mark, which indicates they were struck at the Denver Mint, while others were produced at different mints. The combination of these different mint marks, paired with the condition of the coin, can drastically affect the value. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare 1970 pennies, especially if it's in mint condition or features a minting error like the double die, you could be sitting on a small fortune. As time goes on, these types of rarities only become more desirable to collectors, which drives up their value. Now, let's get to the big question: just how much is a 1971-cent coin worth today? While the vast majority of these coins are still worth just 1 cent, those that are in excellent condition or have minting errors can fetch prices far higher. For example, if you own a 1970 penny with the famous double die error in excellent condition, you could see that coin selling for thousands of dollars at auction. But the real surprise comes when we look at one of the highest recorded sales of a 1970 penny. Believe it or not, a single 1971-cent coin, struck with the famous double die error and in nearly perfect condition, was sold for an astonishing $96,000. Yes, that's right, $96,000 for a penny. It's truly incredible to think that a coin as small as a penny could have such a huge price tag attached to it. But it just goes to show that in the world of numismatics, rarity, condition, and uniqueness can result in huge rewards. So, what should you do if you think you have a 1970 penny worth something special? The first step is to carefully examine the coin. Look for any signs of wear or damage, as well as for any unique features like doubling or mint errors. If you find something interesting, it might be worth getting it appraised by a professional or taking it to a reputable coin dealer for a closer inspection. Before we finish, let's recap. The 1971-cent coin may look like just another penny at first, but with its potential for rare varieties, minting errors, and low mintage numbers, it can be worth far more than you might think. In fact, some of these pennies have sold for as much as $96,000. So, the next time you come across a 1970 penny, remember, there's more to it than meets the eye. Keep your eyes peeled for any rare varieties or minting errors, and who knows? You might just have a fortune in your hands. Thanks for joining us today as we explored the incredible value of the 1971-cent coin. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more coin discoveries. Happy collecting, and we'll see you next time.